Trying to get a job in 2026 is a humiliation ritual. Okay. Zombies, wake up! Okay, a lot of you are jobless right now. Job zero. Neats. Okay, so I need some input here.
Job searching in 2026 has effectively become a humiliation ritual. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jet. I'm currently a senior in college on my last semester before I graduate, so I'm in...
It doesn't help that this is like a Duma-coded video, and the background looks like the set of Dexter when he's about to like catch a serial killer and cut him open.
The prime pool of people that would be looking...
I have a job. I work at a cafe.
...for a job. All of my peers, people that I grew up with, are also in the
Thank you, Mr. Rich, for the 44 months. Why are you streaming? Yeah, your mom asked me to.
Same boat as me, and we have talked extensively about this idea. Did you know that the average person nowadays has to send 1,200, you didn't mishear me, 1,200 job applications before they land a job?
I remember when I was a kid, like trying to get a job in my area, just giving out these sad little letters, and it was actually just a walk of shame. Obviously, I did not get a single reply.
The average 40 years ago was 3. The economy is going to shit, and we all intuitively...
Well, it's mostly because jobs now are becoming like more automated and replaced. I remember as a kid, you go to like a McDonald's or something, and you would actually go to a human and order your food. And now it's just all kiosks. And it just makes like you can whittle down so many jobs by having that like intermediary just like completely removed.
Feel this, and it's been going this way for...
Thank you, Modelo. Mordum for the 5. My girlfriend couldn't find a job around for almost a year. Yeah, I've said this before, but when I was in Sweden, I remember like mates telling me how hard it is to get a job over there as well, because it is just boomers just sat on property and stuff. And like the economy just isn't really like kind of moving. Everyone that already has a job is able to climb up the ladder, but to get into that initial place of like getting a job in the first place is really difficult. There were like queues of application lines just to get a job at Max, which is like the McDonald's equivalent in Sweden.
Quite some time.
I like kiosks. I don't have to talk to another person. Yeah, but talking to people's nice. It's not nice. It sucks. But jobs have been cut over that.
The funniest part about it, right, is that you send in these resumes nowadays, and humans don't even look over the resumes.
Genuinely, almost all my mates got their jobs through people they know, myself included. I know people have been applying for 2 years still. Yeah, it's Nepo. It's always Nepo. To try and get a job. I mean, even at the top of the food chain, like the CEOs, it's like you got Dan Clancy, who's the CEO of Twitch. Like, he didn't know anything about Twitch beforehand. He was the CEO, or he was high up in another company. They swap each other around instead of having someone like naturally climb the ladder.
Instead, it's some sort of AI that's looking for keywords, right? And so to combat this, what people do is they use AI to create their own resume, because they want, for whatever specific industry they're going into, they want AI to make sure that the correct trigger words are on there. So in other words, if you can't seduce an AI, then you're not getting a job, right? And so now we have AI talking to other AI. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to late stage capitalism. I mean, it's just ridiculous, is it not? It's comical. I would love to laugh about it, but I'm in the shit right now, right? Like, it's so ridiculous.
He looks like he's recording this video in like purgatory.
And every part of the process is completely in favor of these corporations, because some of them will try to detect if you used AI on your resume, and then they'll say, well, listen,
dude, I'm so happy I never had this problem as a kid. Oh my God. Now, obviously I got into YouTube at a pretty early age, and I'm incredibly lucky to be in that position and eternally grateful. But again, I remember as a kid, it was just like you type out a resume and then you just hand off a little letter and stuff. There was none of this like AI arms race Skynet stuff that like kids have to deal with now.
We use AI to look over your resume, but the fact that you used AI on your resume, that's a no-no. And so you're no longer an applicant anymore. Let's talk about ghost jobs for a second here too. I'm just going to be all over the place in this video, but just bear with me here. There are literally fake jobs that companies will put out there so that they seem more desirable and
eating the Baker family special, probably.
like they're hiring. And it's so disrespectful, and to do that from the position of power, like the corporations have the power, is beyond me. It's so ridiculous. One of my good friends, he's 2 years older than me, so he graduated last year, so it's been a little over a year in the job market, a year and a half. And
I cannot imagine anything worse than you spend all of this time of your life getting a uni degree or a college degree, all those uni debts as well that are like tens of thousands, only for the job market to be like, we're full. Can you come back later?
this is legitimately the individual.
Like, you've now got a problem where people are getting jobs where they're overqualified for, massively overqualified for, that they don't need, but they just need some kind of money to make ends meet.
With the most agency out of anyone that I know. So like he's very proactive. He constantly like takes control.
Get 2 years of experience, please. Could you get two years of experience with our job to get the job? We can't give you a job right now, though.
Of his own life, right? And he has KPIs that he does every day. So he has to submit a minimum of 4 applications every single day. He's never missed a day, and he like does, among many other
Nuclear physicist working at McDonald's. You say that like it's parody, but that is probably the case for some people.
things that he does. But you know, smart guy. He's nothing over the top. He's nothing like he's no crazy good candidate, but he's bare minimum average, maybe a little bit above average, and then he works really hard. So shouldn't a guy like that, the average guy, be rewarded with, you know, a decent job? Is that too much to ask for? Yeah, apparently it is. And in about 4 to 5 years, I'm going to say, not even it. I don't.
The problem is now you've got people that are getting the qualifications. You know, they're making the cope saying that Gen Z is like the stupidest generation. We got the lowest intelligence. But there was an actual study that came out saying that academically we're the worst, which I think there's probably some truth to it because of like short form content being shoved down our throats. But again, you still have people that are getting qualifications. But because all these companies are trying to jump on AI to basically save money in the long term, it's cutting the bottom margin. It's cutting that floor of all those people that could be possibly getting jobs. And then obviously big, old, fat man, like in a boardroom, he's like, hey, people, children, the kids, they want jobs. No, ChatGPT said, no, actually, I could put in some McDonald's kiosks in the hospital now. We don't need any doctors.
I don't know if you guys have seen Claude.
Thank you, Dino, for the 5. Don't say that. I'm literally going to my master's right now, and the job market is full. My worst fear. You'll be all right.
It's getting pretty scary, but AI will take over. And the only reason that AI hasn't already taken over is because they don't understand how to manage the liability of AI. So AI, like I just mentioned, Claudebot, it's just a virtual assistant. It can pretty much do anything for you. I'm considering actually buying it myself to try to help me with trying to make money online. But essentially
this is another thing as well. You're going to notice with this generation, there will be a huge influx of people that don't get conventional jobs and they go into online money like crypto or drop shipping or trading and stuff like that. I mean, I basically did the same thing. You know, I never went to uni. I went to college for a bit and then I dropped out because I realized, wait a minute, I don't want to spend like, 5 years training up to be like a doctor or something and not actually enjoy it. I enjoy doing YouTube so much more. So I kind of took that risk to start something. And thankfully, the gamble, through complete luck and a lot of perseverance, ended up actually paying off.
Can do the majority of basic job.
I think if you get out of the mainstream market of, if you get out of that market of education and employment, and if you find your own way to make money, I think that's super based. I think it's even more based if you do something creative with it. I know this sounds like cope. I think YouTube's creative. I think you're at least creating something and putting something out there. All right, not the slop, not the streams, but like with me, like the main channel stuff. Or, like even Mr. Beast, like, okay, it's at least he's creating something as opposed to people that just do crypto and they just sit in their room all day just watching numbers go up and down. It's like, yeah, you're making a lot of money, but like, I don't know. I've always had this idea of like, you're not really adding anything if you're doing that. You're kind of just gaining money, which, okay, yeah, it's kind of based because you're, saying fuck you to like the education system and the, the systems we have set up in place. But still, it's not about giving something back. I don't think that's the cope, but I think it's more like just being able to create something.
Jobs. And then, like, let's see, it's advancing at a faster rate than ever before. So in 1 year from now, AI could potentially do 90%.
And you king for the 10. It genuinely sucks. I did a full-on program for sterile processing hospital work. I took the state exam, CRCST, but even then, no hospitals would hire me without experience. Yeah, a lot of you are mentioning experience. I had to get experience when I wanted to be a doctor. I had to get experience working in a hospital. Obviously, I didn't have a degree or anything, did I? So I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't actually allowed to help. It was more basically just caring for the patients. Making sure they were seen to, I guess. It was very basic stuff, like very basic. But yeah, it sounds like now you definitely need experience, because I think now they're going to focus more on experience, because experience is what breaks away from a really good, because I think a lot of employers right now, they're shit scared that people are mastering AI as kids and they can just spoof the system and, fake the exams, fake the grades, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's some exams you need to actually revise for, but a lot of it that's like at home, like dissertation work, you can kind of spoof that still. So I feel like now their big cope, their big wall of China in between you and getting a job is now experience.
And of desk jobs, like jobs that are done on a computer. And at that point, the only thing that's stopping the implementation of this is liability. How do these companies control, like, who do they blame? Because if a doctor...
You can work as an orderly in a hospital if that counts as experience. Yeah.
Has malpractice, then they're like, hey, like, you're getting in trouble for that. Or like if
just lie about experience worked for me. All right. So you guys might see someone in chat right now called King of Karma. That's one of my editors. Guess what, guys? When he applied for the job for me, he fucking lied. He lied and said that he edited, and he never edited in his life. Liar! But now, this is actually kind of a success story, because I should have really taken him out the back and beaten him and killed him. He actually did end up picking editing experience pretty quickly. So that actually ended up being a fake it till you make it story. And now, like, I'd say now he's like the 5th best editor we have on the team, and we've got 5 editors. So yeah, great stuff.
If a member of a hedge fund is, fucking up, like, they have like tracking abilities on this, and so that person can be punished. With AI, it's like, oh, this went wrong. Like, who do we fire? Who do we hold accountable? There really isn't one. And for a lot of larger companies that are handling a lot more critical information, such as people's, like, money, their financial, like how they're getting paid through their bank account, whatever, like you're sitting at very high risk situations.
It's such a weird time to be growing up now, I think. It's like you've got so many options, but at the same time, you've got so many options that it becomes overwhelming that you've got no options. I mean, right now, you could literally you could start investing in crypto. You could start investing in gold. You could start investing in, just anything. Even if you've got like $10 in your account, you can start somewhere. But it's like, you need to then actually do the research to be able to get into that. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything here, by the way. I don't invest myself. I don't at all. I used to. I don't do it anymore. But yeah, it's almost like I talked to my personal trainer about this, and I found it really interesting because he basically runs his own company because he's a personal trainer. He travels around Melbourne, and he obviously has sessions with people, right? So, he's running his own business. And he basically made the point that, well, I made the point to him, you don't realize how much society keeps you inside of a box until you're outside of that box. I find it insane that at the minute, our government, our society believes it's normal to go to a uni, rack up tens of thousands of uni debt. That debt will most likely, unless you've got rich parents, probably follow you until you're like in your late 30s. And then you get a house with a mortgage. And then maybe if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, by like your late 50s, mid 50s, maybe early 50s, if you play it really well, you can pay off that mortgage. It's fucked. You know, this is why I've never thought it's a bad idea to like use AI and stuff to kind of cheat the system, because the system's been cheating you like generationally. It's been cheating you. It's been cheating your parents. Not really your grandparents, because they bought a house for 30 fucking quid, but yeah. And I know the cope that people make of like, oh, well, if everyone's getting applications and degrees through AI, then it's like, oh, we're gonna have a generation full of morons. Paying off a mortgage by late 50s is still better than not being able to get into it at all. Yep, it is just getting worse. Owning property is a lie. As long as you have to pay property tax, that land isn't really yours. Do you remember when the Georgians had window tax? So people in the UK would board over their windows with brick so they didn't have to pay the tax. That was pretty based. I'm sure the debt will be crazy considering both my parents worked 2 jobs. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, we lived in, I think we were brought up in a council house. So like affordable housing, which is basically a house that you never own. And it's owned by the government, and you basically just pay rent. That's basically what a council house is. And then we got an actual house, and the debt, the mortgage was just insane. Like, it would have outlived my parents easily when they were working as teachers. Easily would have outlived them. Council housing is still cheaper than market rent, I know, but there's a lack of council houses. That's why there's so many, especially in the UK, that's why there's so many new builds. You'll get these areas of flat grass that are just like knocked down and they're turned into like cheap, affordable housing. That's why they just, dude, it looks like the fucking houses in Vivarium. Like you get new builds in the UK. This is what you're looking at. Oh, look at the personality of this neighborhood. Wow. Very cool. Yeah, I lived in one of these houses basically with my family. Like, dude, that's where I filmed all my videos. With the background and the bed in the background, it was just a new build. That's all it was. It was, how big was it? Yeah, it was probably about that size. I'd say, nah, it wasn't that big. It's probably about as big as one of these, I think. But yeah, it looks dystopian because companies and contractors build these, they mass produce these things. And they just look soulless. Because again, it's to build as many, I mean, like I came from Birmingham, right? I remember in Birmingham, there were like, you had areas around Birmingham that were called overspill towns, just because the amount of people that were moving to Birmingham, they had to rip up land and make new council houses just to fit the amount of people there.
And oh my gosh, don't even get me started on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is...
I am so grateful to be in the position I am, and I've never used LinkedIn in my life. Apparently, it is just infested with bots now.
The fakest place on earth. Everybody, it actually seems like people are selling their soul on LinkedIn. Like, no bullshit. The
Minecraft villager house
posts from people.
I go to a community college, heard they got good programs. I think I went to a community college. I did it for biology and chemistry. But yeah, then I dropped out.
People that I grew up with, like friends of mine, I'm not trying to judge, but it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's a pussy. But at the same time, I don't even blame them. I do not blame them because they need a job, but it seems like they're selling their soul just to get a job that they don't even want. And that will be taken over in 4 to 5 years' time. It is...
My face when dystopia is a house for cheap. Well, it's more the fact that you never actually own the house. It's owned by the government. And again, like these new build houses, the council houses, they're not built up. They're built up to the minimum standards. They're not built up well. They're built very efficiently and very cheaply.
A joke. It's a joke. For those who don't know me, and maybe you just clicked on this video because you saw the title and you related, I do social media. I just started in October of this past year, so it's been like 6 months, right?
Having a job you enjoy is a harmful lie. It's funny, I keep being recommended Instagram Reels, and it's like, one made me laugh, and it was Jesse Pinkman, you know, driving away in the finale when he's on the steering wheel, and he's like, ah! You know, just like screaming, slamming the steering wheel. And it's like, me when I'm employed, me when I'm unemployed. Because I feel like when people aren't employed, initially they're really happy, right? It's like a school holiday. It's like, yippee! But then the depression sets in. Because I feel personally, no matter where you are in life, you have an innate drive to do something. whether that's to just anything. I'm not going to say work, but anything. And if that falls out of whack because you don't have a job, then the depression sets in. Then not even depression. I'd call it something like melancholy. Melancholy is a good film though. But that kind of feeling of purposelessness sets in. And that's when the real depression sets in. So it's almost like as much as many people do despise their job, and they've got every right to do so, I think it does kind of help keep that balancing act of your life stable while you try and find something else. Because, I mean, if you got a job, right, at least you're kind of doing something. You're leaving the house, you're going out, or you're even if you're working from home, you're at least doing something productive. And some people could absolutely despise their job. But, I mean, dude, you asked me when I was like 14, what are you going to do? I'm going to play video games all day in my spare time. But now, as a 28-year-old unk, a grand wizard unk, if I was going to play video games all day, I would just get depressed immediately. Now, if I streamed it, then my brain's like, wait a minute, we're getting income from this. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We're building a future. That's fine. But I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting a little bit here, but I feel like as you get older, you definitely focus on wanting to do something a lot more, like having a purpose. And I'm not even just talking about money. But at least as long as you're doing something, you're like, you know that it's helping you progress towards a bigger goal.
Or like 5 months, okay?
Why is Grand Wizard crazy? Why?
I now have a greater asset in my social media following.
I don't get it. Oh my God. Okay.
You know, I have like around 300K on Instagram. And
now, how was I meant to know that would have the same connotation? How was I meant to know that was gonna, like, who makes up these names? Who makes up these names?
Like 550K on TikTok. I have a greater asset in my social media following. By the way, I seriously don't mean that. I'm not saying that to
2016 possession.
brag or be
Grand Wizard.
Get all. I'm just saying that for example here. It's a greater
Why would you call it the Grand Wizard? It's like a fucking Harry Potter bit.
asset to me than my degree will be when I graduate at the end of the semester. It legitimately is, which is why I just told you guys I'm trying to do Claude Bot, because I want to tell it to. I want it to show me how I can make money online, because right now I'm making no money at all besides like what I get paid for views. And anybody,
if you asked AI how to make money online, it would give you the most boring dog shit advice imaginable. What you need, like, if you want to get into crypto, you need to start investing in. You need to start joining groups.
anybody that knows like TikTok, it is like terrible. I've gotten like over 300 million views on TikTok, and I haven't even been paid like $1,000 or something.
Yeah. TikTok CPM is a joke. It's comedic. That's why most people run sponsors on it.
300 million views, guys. It might actually be more than that.
Great for exposure. Horrendous for making money.
Actually, it could potentially be a lot more than that. But like, it's just so bad. Instagram, I get paid no money from. Like, you don't get paid for views at all. At least maybe you could, but
yeah, you can't monetize Instagram outside of America, which is really infuriating. So whenever I post stuff on Instagram, I just don't make any money off it.
I'm getting too sidetracked right now. What I want to say is that it almost seems like you could be working your butt off in college, or maybe you already have a job, but it's entry level and you're trying to work your way up. But it's, what are we doing it for?
I think it gets twisted a bit as well, where it's like, I mean, the education system's completely on its head. Like, you could be a complete moron, never pay attention.
Because we're just going to get replaced by AI. And these companies, these corporations, I don't need to convince you. You guys know they don't care about you. They don't. This is all you are to them.
But yeah, the point I was going to make before that, Dono, was I remember, like, dude, at school, I was terrible. I was, like, my grades were so bad. I'm not, every single parents' evening, they just always, like, even as, like, dude, when I was 12 all the way up to when I was, like, 18, every single, like, parents' evening was just always the same. It was always, he's obviously very smart, he just doesn't pay attention. If he worked enough, if he worked a normal 9 to 5, he'd kill himself. That was every parents' evening. You know, I think some of the it's funny, like some of the most successful people I think are a little bit kind of tapped in the head. Like Richard Branson. Is it Richard Branson? I think it's Richard Branson that owns Virgin. He was like selling records and stuff originally. And then he got into Virgin and now he's worth like billions. It's insane. I feel like if your brain is a little bit cooked and it's not neurotypical, you've probably got a higher chance of being able to break out of that kind of bubble that society's set for you.
You're an asset. You make them money. The average employee makes a company 4 times what their salary is. That is a fact. So
our school system's been the same for over 80 years. It hasn't evolved at all. That is the exact problem. That's the problem we have. That literally is the problem we have. It's so archaic, it hasn't caught up with the modern times that we've got at the minute.
It's a humiliation ritual, guys. For the first time ever, the average age of a new hire is 40.
Bro failed one test. No, my grades were terrible. I mean, I passed everything at GCSE level, but you could really tell I was only really interested in like biology and English. Like maths, I was horrendous at. Maths, I had to take like the foundation paper. And the foundation paper is funny because the foundation paper is like, it's easier overall than the standard paper, but you have to get more marks on the foundation paper to be able to get a pass, as opposed to... So when there's a normal paper, you can get like A star, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then U, which means unmarkable. They've probably changed that now. It's been like 10 years. And then the foundation paper is like, okay, so you're kind of stupid. So we're going to give you this paper. It's like easy mode. But the highest mark you can get is a C. You can't get anything higher than that. The highest you can get is a pass grade. And then I did that. And yeah, I failed it like twice.
3 years.
I just don't like maths. I really don't like maths. It's so boring to me.
Old. That's the highest it's ever been in American history, I believe. If I'm not...
Dude, I don't do numbers at all. Like, I don't have dyscalculia. It's not like I can't read numbers, but I just find it so uninteresting. Like, I don't even do my own accounts. My mum does it for me. Pushing 30, my mummy does my accounts. Why you say maths like MAFS and then wilted flower? Yeah, you're getting timed out. Hang on. I actually haven't timed anyone out this stream, so that'll be a first. Goodbye.
Wrong. Do you know how like messed up that is? Shouldn't it be your like college students? People aren't going to be able to retire, and with inflation, you work really hard right now. You get paid.
Can we stop saying maths? Maths. Stop saying MAFFS.
Say you get paid $30 an hour. Well, $30 an hour in 20 years from now is going to be worth the equivalent of maybe $10 an hour. And then in another 20 to 30 years, when you would retire, it's going to be worth like a few.
I think like as well, kids' perceptions now, they're going to be cooked. Because what do? You work your shitty job that you hate. You're getting minimum wage for, right? And then you go home, you lie on your bed or your couch and you doom scroll. And all you get recommended are these fucking losers that are living in Dubai. Like, all you got to do, mate, is like, here, follow my course. And it's like, you don't get it. You'll be like, they are selling you a bigger lie than the fucking government is with education. Because like they're trying to directly profit off you. It's all transactional. It's leeching. They don't give a shit if you're successful or not. They just want you to buy their course. They don't want, if anything, they don't want you to be successful because then you're competition to them. You should get into like drop shipping, mate, and like use my referral code. It's just, it's like people that are, it's like the fitness people that are telling, they tell you how to eat and how to train. And then they start shilling you their discount code for like peptides that are for research purposes only, because they say if it's like for actual personal use, then that's illegal. It's just, it's cope.
$2. So when they promote you, it's not even them promoting you. It's just saying, well,
Gamble everything. Okay, wait. That's the smartest comment I've seen on this stream. Just put it all on red.
Oh, inflation increased by like 7%.
Millionaire complaining. I think I'm allowed to complain that I'm allowed to complain that the kids today are cooked. I think that's totally fair. I mean, dude, I'm speaking from experience. Thank you, Krupp, for the 15. It's because the Emeritards don't say maths with the S, they say math. Oh, they say math? Yeah, I guess a 5-letter word is too many words. Too many letters. So fair enough.
And your promotion is going to give you an extra 2-3%. So you're going to be happy, right? No, you're actually like not even leveling out with the market, with the value of the dollar.
What currency is a dollar? It's just Australian dollar. It's kind of a meme currency. If you half it, then it's like actual real money.
It's such a joke. I'm saying this stuff out loud and I'm like, is this even real? Like, I can't believe this is real. It's ridiculous not to believe that AI can't take your job. I know a lot of people like hate AI and all this stuff. But you have to like live in the real world and try to plan accordingly to like what's going on. Like, this is game theory optimal, right? Like, you got to figure out the game and then like try to position yourself in the best spot. So Naval Ravikant, he says that the future it's all going to be about creation. So you need to create something. It doesn't need to be content.
Thank you, Bus, for the 2. This is so inspirational. Thank you, Mr. Israel Trust Fund. How I'm giving legit advice here, man.
He is not into meme coin or anything, but I only pray he doesn't get rug pulled.
Thank you, Solid, for the 10. My brother is big on crypto. I would never do crypto again. I think what I would do is just pay someone to do it for me. I think I would go insane. I'd get too hyperfixated on it. I'd just be checking that graph every 5 minutes. I'd be like stimming on my phone.
Creation like what I'm doing right now. But you have to create a business. You need to create a skill set that's going to be valuable for something, because AI is going to be able to automate most things. It's your best bet to plan accordingly. And I feel like it's a better use of my time to try to figure out how these AI systems work. And I'm not talking ChatGPT that's going to help me complete my homework, or for the people that are already working, write a email to one of your coworkers. I'm talking about like the actual beauty of AI, which is that it can write code. So you don't, as long as you can speak English, you can now create software. And whether that's an app or whether that's a website or whether that's just like a service in general, if you can create something good enough, then you can be your own boss. And
I always find it weird with this cope. It's like, is this a good thing that makes it accessible to everyone? Or is it just going to like dumb people down because everyone can do it? Because if everyone can do something, no one can do something, if that makes sense. It's almost like how being a YouTuber, right? I'm in a really privileged position to be a YouTuber. If everyone became a YouTuber, then no one would be a YouTuber, because no one would watch other people's content. They would be constantly focused on their own content. There would be no market to actually appeal to there. It's the same with AI art. It's like, you know, you get artists there. I mean, people that use AI, they can make art. But then it's like, what's the fucking point when you've had someone that's learned to draw for like they've learned to draw for years. And then they get usurped by someone just like, dude, I checked DeviantArt the other day. The fucking state of that website. Holy, I have not checked that thing in like 4 years. And it was just, okay, yeah, get the 6.7s out, get it out your system. All right, get it out. But the state of that website, man, like, you get these poor artists that are drawing like, you know, they will post one piece of art every month. And then below him, you'll have some AI Andy mass producing 7 pieces of AI generated art like a day.
There's talks in the air of what is referred to as universal base income.
Thank you, little fat boy, for the 5. God forbid a man to have a stable job and a peaceful life. The day AI game ends, we could achieve world peace. Well, you'd have to get rid of every billionaire to do that first, so I don't think that's happening.
If you're unfamiliar, let's say that AI comes in and it takes all desk jobs. So now unemployment is 50%. Then Elon Musk is saying in 7 years' time,
Why didn't my super chat go through? I didn't want it to.
we'll have.
I don't know.
robots that can be mass produced that will take over most labor intensive jobs. So now we're looking at unemployment in the 90s, potentially more. I've heard experts say 98, 99%. If you can't find a way to like to get into the class of elites, which most people can't, me and you, let's be real, most likely won't, then you're just it's just going to be a two faction system like in the movies. You used to have the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, right? Or I like to call it the working class in the middle. Now you have the upper class, which owns like 30 to 40% of the wealth, and it's 0.01%. There is no middle class. The working class is just like the bottom, like 99%. Because let's say you're a lawyer.
I think it has gotten worse, the divide, because a lot of companies actually try to appeal to the middle class, because the middle class, on standard, have the most amount of disposable income that they're willing to actually part with. Because it's funny, like when you reach that top 1%, you become very frugal with your money, because if you're not nepo and you built that money yourself, usually you don't have an empire until you're about like 40, unless you mug everyone and you're Robert House from Fallout, and then you get it at like 28. Hang on. What age did Robert House become rich? Okay, I got 2 years left. Okay, we got 2 years left. We got 2 years left. 2 years left to mug him. Anyways, but yeah, it's like people that get money throughout their life and then they build a business and they get lucky and they become like a billionaire or something. They're actually the most frugal with their money. They're not the most lavish, because they realized how quickly they built that money up over time, and then they realized how quick that money can also be taken away. So it's actually the middle class that are the most likely to splurge money, not the lower or the higher, which I thought was like always really interesting.
At this point, I'm just rambling about the economy and not even just the job market. But let's say you're a lawyer.
Thank you, boss, for joining.
You are still putting in six.
Net spend younger than me. It's over. I'm done. Isn't he like 10? Okay, he's like actually 20, right? Yeah, it's over. How? He's only 19? What? Oh, I keep getting him and like Two Hollis confused. Anyways.
60 hours a week, which is the same as the Amazon single mom that works at Amazon for also 60 hours a week to just try to support. And so don't get me wrong, you know, the lawyer's going to make a lot more money, but you have to look at things in terms of how much effort and time are you putting into this stuff. It's ridiculous. For those who don't know, the ancient...
Do not compare net spend and Two Hollis. I mean, brother. Brother. He's basically just net spend, but 10 years later. He's 22? What? Dude, I thought he was like my age. Holy shit, it's over. No, it's actually over.
Ancient Romans and the ancient Greeks, they have words for it. One's like odium, that's what the word is. OTIMU, I think, or IUM, whatever.
Well, no, I mean, Two Hollis has a jawline. I don't. Like, the thing is, I've noticed chat will keep saying to me, you look 20, and then other people will say you look 40. It really, like, it's now reaching the point for me where it really depends on angling. That's why I just refuse to grow facial hair, because then it is just confirmed over.
Whatever it is, okay? It basically means, like, leisure time, but not in, like, a you're lazy way. It's more in, like, you're going to do fruitful things, like connect with your community, read, write, philosophy, whatever it is, okay? So, back in the day, you were rich.
Maybe stop comparing yourself to others and just accept to be happy with who you are. Gay!
If the less that you worked, that was the signal. And so the Romans and the Greeks both believed very much that your life is not about, you know, just like working. So I've made another video on my channel where...
I mean, he says that, and he's right, but we literally live in the worst time of the planet to have that philosophy of just being happy with who you are. with everything shoved down our throats with tech, there's always someone to compare to. There's always some way you could be doing better or look better or have a better lifestyle. We are literally, this is the worst generation for that ever. We are now in the middle of the generation of comparing.
I say only a slave.
Because most, you know, like my parents, right, when they were working as teachers, they would have been like, you know, this is kind of it, you know, like I'm happy, I'm teaching kids, you know, I get to go home to my own children, have a happy life, pay off a bit of mortgage to my house. But now, you know, growing up now, you're being constantly shoved down your throat, all these algorithms and stuff of people that are doing better than you, and how you can, you know, they make it seem like they're at the top of like Mount Olympus, that kind of thing. And how there's just, and it's such a paradoxical effect, because no matter how much progress you make, you're then told that there's someone who's still doing better than you as well. Like it creates this like comparing constantly.
Quantifies its existence through productivity. We've created a hustle culture.
Imagine coming home from 8+ hours of work to have to take care of a little Pyrocynical. Why'd you say that? Like the channel was around back then.
Where people are just like willing to do anything. And it's like they're straight up just like being slaves to these corporations. The entire job application process is you kissing ass until you could get there. I made a video recently where I said, my problem is the corporate world requires a certain level of ask.
1987 Ukraine. Okay, my parents weren't from Ukraine. They're from Ireland.
Kissing a certain level of suck-uppery that I simply wasn't born with. But it's true. What are we doing here? What are we doing nowadays? The problem too is that a lot of people, almost every single, no, actually,
Irish, it's over. I mean, I'm white and British. It was basically a 50-50 chance I was going to have Irish heritage.
actually every single person that I went to high school with,
No, I wasn't, okay, Cope incoming. I wasn't born in Ireland. I don't have an accent at all. I've just got parents whose parents are Irish, and they've got Irish heritage. But again, I'm fucking white and British. It was literally like a 50-50 chance. Like do you know how many white people have Irish heritage? Because they came over to the UK, they fucked like rabbits, they helped build the bridges, and then they left. That's why so many white people in the UK have got like Irish blood or heritage or whatever.
that I know of has like, is not even like willing to put in the mental effort to like.
That's the same as Americans saying they're Irish. Yeah, but Americans will literally say that they're like, you know, they're half. They'll say that they're half Native American and then half Irish, and they do like a 21andMe, and then it'll be like 2% Irish, 0.08% Native American.
Try to
when you reach like the singular digits, it's Cope. It is literally Cope.
revolt against this system. Instead, they're just like succumbing to it, and they're like, I give up, like I don't care enough. And dude, it's tragic. What are we doing here?
100% Israeli. I never ban that guy.
I hope if you stayed this long.
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
You agree with me. You understand what I'm saying. The HR ladies, don't even get me started about these HR ladies. The most pretentious freaking.
Does anyone here work in HR or know someone that works in HR? I don't want to go in on HR and then there's some poor fucker that just like bursts into tears in my chat. Because I don't understand what HR does. I just feel like they're hired for like as a legal requirement. HR be like, oh, your office worker sexually harassed you? But he did put in more this quarter than you. I guess you'll have to try harder.
Like fakest
Human regarded department. I like that one.
beings ever. Dude, like half the
Man, I'm crying now. What you said about HR.
freaking HR ladies, like I don't even mean this in a bad way. They're just like diversity hires. They're like, oh my gosh, we need to hire women. Let's just put them on HR because women are good with connecting and communicating. And then they become like the fakest human beings you have ever seen in your life. I'm not saying women are fake. I'm not like making that generalization.
Oh, whoa, wait a bit. Black pilled there, buddy.
I'm just saying anybody who has any experience with HR knows that they are just, oh my gosh. Like, actually spare me, Susie. You have no idea what it's like to try to enter the job market at this time. Okay? Like, you are a clown. I don't.
He actually goes to HR and just starts calling them clowns. No. Hang on, I'm trying to adjust my blinds. This is like a rich person thing. I've got like automatic blinds. So it's a rich person problem. They break sometimes.
I genuinely don't take you seriously. Anyways, this video has been getting way too long-winded. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope you related.